For me, I think it just came so natural. I've always painted, I've always drawn as a little girl, and it got to the point where I had to be doing it. There was no other options. The arts create so much joy and color in the world, and I think that's something I just want to be a part of. My name is Michelle Hoogveld. I am living in Montreal, originally from Calgary, Alberta, and my artistic medium is a combination of spray paint, latex, oils, and sculptural work.
So my work is really about connection and love, and for me, I find the use of color is able to exude that. They can experience that moment of connection, those moments of love, kind of in their unique way. I think I've always naturally been quite a positive person and always seen the bright side of things, and I think, exploring my artwork, it naturally led that way. I actually used to do a lot of monochromatic black and white work, and it's really evolved to this, explosion of color. I was painting so many different styles, from landscapes to portraiture to abstract, and just experimenting with materials and mediums too. I really didn't have a direction at that point. And I think as a learning artist, sometimes monochromatic is a really great place to begin, because, at least for me, I found it was a very simple way to understand how the lights and darks worked together. And then now, as I'm growing, it just felt natural to evolve with that sense of color. But then I see other artists working with the monochromatic and black and white only, and it's brilliant. So I think it's just whatever kind of your heart is drawn to, you naturally find as you're painting, drawing, creating. Since my mom passed, rainbows have been very symbolic. And I think more and more that expression keeps coming back into my artwork. And I think just the experience we get when we see color is it's so uplifting. And I think while I'm painting that, I feel that. And then seeing the way people react to it, it's similar. So I think it's just that encouragement and that I guess being so drawn to the way gradients and shades work together and how it interacts with landscapes and different environments. I just keep wanting more of it.
Around what age did you make that shift?
To color?
Yeah.
I was probably around 27, 28. Yeah.
How old were you when you were first away?
28.
Yeah, but that's when you switched to rainbows.
I would say it was pretty much around there. Yeah. Really when I started murals, it was a few years before then, but then as I started doing public artwork, that's when color really came into my work. I think I saw my first mural when I went to Thailand in 2012.
Okay.
And I remember being like, oh, I love this. And then coming back and seeing local artists doing some smaller ones, I was like, I need to be doing this. And that was kind of like the first moment. But
2012.
Yeah.
She found her moment.
I've always had this adventure, explorative nature and side to myself. So seeing that murals and street art, you do have this opportunity to travel and go to new places and experience new cultures. I was immediately drawn to that. And yeah, some I've definitely sought out. Like I've wanted to go explore a country, and there's been an opportunity to also paint there. Always want to be learning more about other people. And one thing I love too is learning how, people's textiles, how they, incorporate different architectural styles, things like that. I can't help but be inspired to bring that back into my work. Yeah, so I think that's always the fun part of travel. I think my favorite part is at least for murals, every surface is a new experience. So you show up to a wall, it could be a new texture, it could have, different barriers of things like that around it. Also working with new clients is really fun. And it's interesting because my work is a lot of calculations now, and angles and things like that, and I hated math.
You do need math.
You do. Yeah, like scaling super high buildings. I have to really make sure that they're done right and that my information given to me is correct from, the architectural team. But in terms of creating the design, it's how can I include this message of love and connection, but then continue to evolve the artwork itself. So tweaking it in certain ways so that, I feel like I'm always growing as an artist and not just stuck in a certain thing. And so that's what I kind of like, is seeing how something started in one place and seeing over the years how it transitions. I think about the experience while I'm in a place, but not necessarily that the design is generated because of a place, especially because I have such a universal message of love and connection. I think my hope is that it would be fitting for most places, and that would just bring more of that to the area. Obviously the architectural constructs of the building are going to affect the artwork, but in terms of the design, most times it's really about just putting that message. It is a very personal thing, the connection between the art and the person. And, maybe that's why some artists, they have a name outside of themselves. But I am noticing a shift too, where a lot of people who had another identity as artists are actually bringing their own name back to it. And they are showcasing themselves with their art more and more and more. And I think because arts are coming as more of an acceptable profession and more encouraged and, really seen as having an impact on society, I think more artists are okay with, sharing that personal side of themselves. How much do you give and how much do you hold back? How much is a mystery? Yeah, it is an interesting balance, that's for sure. But I think the more you get comfortable with it, the more you can celebrate the art. So it kind of comes full circle in the end. But it doesn't make it easy, that's for sure. So my sister, who lives here in Missoula, she sent me the call, and I'd actually been and seen it once before, so I knew exactly what she was talking about. And I was excited because it gave me, especially with the pandemic, an opportunity to come, be with family, and then also display my artwork in kind of a new context, because most times when it's a mural, it's on a wall, whereas this one is actually like a gallery, but outdoors. So I thought that was really intriguing. So this piece is called More Love, and when I was selected, they asked me to include text into the artwork as well. And I was thinking about a poem and a way of incorporating something, but it just really came down to love. And I just wanted it to be like love, 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 and more love. Like everything is about love. The way the colors come together, and it's from warm to cool, and then there's the stark black and white. For me, it's about these layers that come together and fold and interact, and everything is different but the same. And for me, that's people. That's our expression. We're all unique, yet we still come together, and that's my love. It's not so much about the skill, it's about your belief in yourself artistically. And I think if you fully believe that you can do something, like, nothing will stop you, only yourself. I think there is something to be said about really honing in on an area and, making it the best you possibly can. And, exploring it, experimenting with it. But I think the more that you find your unique voice, I think that's when you really start to find yourself as an artist. So yeah, just that full belief.